Cha-ching! And welcome to I Need a Hobby, a podcast. I'm this week's host, Chris. To my left, he's got investments with a prince from Nigeria who says he can make him millions. Andrew.
Hello.
And to my right, he just registered the Gmail account, therealnigerianprince@gmail.com. Alex.
Hello. Cha-ching is right.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I've been hearing my money's about to triple in a few weeks.
Hopefully.
Triple is right. Triple is right. Andrew. I mean, whoa, where'd you hear that?
Triple is a fair estimate. But what is this podcast about? Here at I Need a Hobby every week, we are three young kids. Every day, actually, we're three young kids. We work hard during the 9 to 5, and we try to make the most out of the 5 to 9.
What do we do, though?
Let's go.
We each week, we talked about a challenge, hobby, and activity. The big CHA that we founded. The CHA that make the cha in cha-ching. Am I right, fellas?
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
That's good.
Also, the cha-cha slide.
Yeah, that's coming next week.
That'd be the worst episode.
I mean, it would be like learning to dance, kind of.
We did do one on dancing.
Is the cha-cha slide the song that has instructions in the song?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an instructional video.
such a that's so weird. Like, that shouldn't be a form of art. That's like watching an instructional video as like a as like a drama.
It's like a Zumba class, so they kind of tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But in audio form.
But you're listening to that song being like, this is a great song. You would never watch an instructional movie and be like, this is a great movie. I know how to tie a tie now.
It's basically like a podcast if you think about it. It's like just teaching you something.
But that's different though. Like, I'm imagining if I put on a movie, or what I thought was a movie, and it's the music video for the cha-cha slide, I'm excited.
Do you think that the
the
cha-cha slide has ever been played through headphones?
Yeah. Oh my God. I
that
bet.
is great.
I
Sure
bet.
not.
Like, you know when you're like just like you're in like 7th grade and you played the same like 15 songs over and over and over. Like, I feel like I used to listen to like Freebird or something all the time.
I thought you just said Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah,
More
or Cotton Eye
instructional
Joe.
stuff.
More storm.
Like, I bet or Sandstorm. Yeah, Sandstorm was one of them. I bet there are
Yeah.
people out there who just loved the cha-cha slide or like the electric slide. Is that the same thing? Or is that a different song?
I feel like that's from like the 70s or something.
I think they're cousins.
The Hustle?
The
Is that the same?
The Macarena.
Yeah. The
YMCA.
The Dougie.
Yeah.
Look, there's like a trend of instructional songs, you know?
Yeah. I kind of liked it.
We got to come out with the next one.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
do we do? Oh, man, I wonder.
Yeah. Well, there was that one song. What was it called? I don't even want to get into it. The one song where he just said, like, now do the
Oh,
now
yeah.
break your legs.
Running Man on that beat.
Oh.
Running Man on that beat.
No,
That
he's
one?
thinking of
Wait, that's the one?
he's thinking of Watch Me. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
watch me.
Whip.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Okay.
of, like, what's the one that I'm thinking of called? Like, where it's like,
Juju on the beat.
Juju
Juju
on
on
the
the
beat.
Yeah,
That's like a, it's like you've graduated from the first step, like
Yeah.
like one singular dance moves, and now you can put a chain together. You can Juju, you can do the
Yeah.
Running Man, you can stop.
Oh, what if they said cha-cha slide on that beat?
It's like a
You're
slightly
like,
advanced
okay.
version because it's like the cha-cha on that beat or whatever.
Wait, what's that song where,
I'm just
isn't it the electric slide where they say like, stop, they do cha-cha, and then someone does the
cha-cha, real smooth. No,
yeah,
that's the cha-cha
cha-cha
slide.
real smooth. That's the cha-cha slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's the electric slide then?
That's the
Dude, I feel like that's like a disco song or something.
Maybe it is.
It's funny though how it's like the cha-cha is like the first level, very explicit. Like hop 2 times. The next one,
Very
it assumes
explicit?
you know how to. It assumes you know how to whip a nene. It doesn't say
that's
like,
true.
no, put your arm forward. No, shake it in the air now.
Well, don't get me started. What about teach me how to Dougie? Now you're the student.
I ever show you guys.
No, you teach me how to Dougie.
I ever tell you guys I had to go to a '90s party one time.
You had to go, Chris. Did you throw this party?
Mandatory. It was at my apartment. Didn't really want to go. And I didn't have anything really to wear, so someone bought me a shirt that said "Teach me how to Dougie" from Savers.
90s. That's the least 90s shirt of all time.
Sorry.
That song came out in like 2013.
It was correction. It was a 2000s party.
Oh, okay.
But
Still
I
a little
got
late.
confronted by multiple people saying that song came out in 2010. Like,
2010. I was pretty close.
but like,
no, you're wrong.
why did they all know that it came out in like?
You're wrong.
Why, dude, you're acting like you're high and mighty for wearing a song that came out not just in the 00s even.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
a decade off. It's 2 decades off.
No. He corrected
2000s
himself.
party.
It wasn't the 90s. It was a 2000s party.
Oh my
Yeah.
bad.
But 2000, I would be upset if you wore something from 2009.
Still,
Because I feel like a decade,
true.
the real part of the decade is in that middle 5.
It's the real meat of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So if you're wearing something from even 2000 or 2001, get back in the 90s party.
That's
all right,
fair.
that's
Yeah.
happening next door.
Yeah.
I didn't get invited to that one, unfortunately.
But all right, but how do you think we're in the hot spot right now for like
2010?
What do you call that
20
genre of music?
Oh, for that.
Dance songs?
Hotspot? No way. What?
But we had the Juju on the beat, Whip
True.
Nene. I feel like there must have been a dab song that was out.
There's a lot. I
And
feel like
Teach Me How to Dougie all came out in the 2010s.
I feel like
That's true.
every generation something like that, because we haven't even talked about the Soulja Boy.
And the Soldier Boy too.
No, but that's different. That's like
That's a dance, I think.
yeah, but he's not. But there's also like
I don't know
there's
if that
also
is a
like
dance.
that My Boo song, but you know that's
Huh?
the Running Man Challenge one.
My
you know
Boo?
that My Boo?
My Boo's by Usher, isn't it?
No, that's a different one.
My Boo.
By the
Alright.
by the Ghost Town. No.
No,
This
no.
is important.
A
This is
Running
important.
Man challenge song. Like I would never say Chris. I would
great
never say
song.
the Black Beatles song from the Mannequin Challenge
that's not
is in the same genre.
because that wasn't meant to be.
No,
a
because
dance.
the Mannequin Challenge is not a dance thing. But I'm saying that there's the Running Man Challenge song, My Boo.
I'll be watching you.
Yeah.
That's a Running Man song. That's not saying like
But
to the Running Man.
okay, but they don't say that in the Soulja Boy either, though. What are you
He
talking
says,
about?
"Watch me, Soulja Boy."
I think
And then
Soulja Boy is on the
Soulja
line.
Boys.
Soulja Boy is
It's
on the line.
It's
Yeah.
on the line.
Running
What's
Man
up,
on
man?
that beat, aka the Juju.
Crank That has a lot of interpretations.
Crank
Yeah.
That
Left
Soulja
Foot
Boy
Now,
is
y'all,
saying,
is
this
pretty
is
clear.
Cranking That Soulja Boy. Fans can't see at home.
Yeah.
I'm Superman in that. I should get into it.
He also says you should. I'm hopping on one toe. Let me super soak that. Beat.
So like that song legitimately played at like 7th grade dances.
Yeah.
How did they let that slide?
That's fair.
How did they let that electric slide? I mean,
That song is great, I think. That was
Yeah.
that was really good. When I tried to learn that song for some reason.
Soulja Boy. Or-
Yeah, it was like a joke that
did you try to learn it on the recorder.
No.
Tried to learn it on the recorder.
That was broccoli. I did try to learn Lil Yachty's part. Or well, at least it's Lil Yachty in the music video, but I don't know if it's actually
Yeah, I don't
him
think it
on the
is.
recorder.
That's funny.
But no, at one point, like in early college, I thought it would be really funny if I knew the Soulja Boy dance and was able to use that in action. So I remember looking up. It was so sad. It was like Soulja Boy dance video,
Sad.
and it was like this guy, and he's like, I'm gonna. It's like it was like
It's-
professional though.
It's Soulja Boy himself.
Soulja.
No, it was like some guy, and he was like,
Soulja
I'm going to
Boy.
teach y'all how to take y'all through the Soulja Boy dance. And it was so weird because he would do it like as in the like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like a
and
dance class?
Yeah.
Now watch
So
me,
like the music
you
wasn't
All right,
playing.
well, here's my question.
It was very weird.
When was that? When do you think that video was made? Did it look like it was made in like
No.
2012? Because that would make me sick.
No, it was definitely made post like yeah,
like
2012
5 years
probably.
later?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
God.
Yeah.
So
I'll
it
look
was
that up again.
It was just made for you.
Probably.
The only person to ever look up how to dance to Soulja Boy. Tell him.
You know, Soulja Boy is now Fetty Wap.
That's so. Where does that come from?
It's
Insane
true. I
rumor,
don't know. I
insane
heard it.
rumor.
Someone told me.
But Soulja Boy is like so. I guess. Do you think Soulja Boy Tell Him is one of the biggest one-hit wonders of the past 10 years?
I would say so. He
'Cause
did have Soulja Girl. You ever hear that song?
No, he didn't.
No, he had
that was Lil. That
he
was
had
Fetty Wap.
he had Turn My Swag On, which was not good, but it was
Turn My
it
Swag
was,
had another
it was a
hit.
song. Hop out of the bed, turn my swag on.
Do you
Pretty Boy Swag, another song by him.
Oh, Pretty Boy Swag, yeah.
Oh my God! How do you guys know that many songs?
I have his
All right.
best of album.
Well, that begs the
Wait,
question.
is Turn My Swag On him?
So,
It is. It is.
Okay.
Take a look in the mirror. Say what's
that's
up.
not
what's
a
up, what's
hit.
up?
That's no way that's a hit. That would not be played at a middle school dance.
No.
What
but-
middle school dances
but
are you
middle
going
school-
to?
Middle school dances are filled
I'm going
with one-hit
to
wonders.
I'm going to 90s and 2000 themed middle school dances.
The slow dance song of middle school dances was "Bad Day" by Daniel Powder, the biggest one-hit wonder ever.
My slow dance was
True.
Pretty Boy Swag by Soulja Boy, now AKA
Hey,
Fetty Wap.
hey baby, let's speed it up. DJ, Pretty Boy Swag.
All right.
But
Well,
anyway, we're not here to talk to you about Fetty, Soulja,
no,
Macarena.
we're here to talk about the part where Soulja Boy and Pretty Boy Swag
Yeah, they
says,
cash in.
"Yeah, I
got
get money."
Is that one of their songs?
He says that in Pretty Boy Swag.
does.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know those songs at all.
Personal finance.
Andy, honestly, thank God.
Yeah. So we've been talking about doing this episode for a while. Personal finance. I think
Yeah, we
this
have.
is a topic that comes up a lot in our age bracket. You're in your
Oh,
20s.
yeah, definitely.
You're out of college. I have some money for the first time in my life. What do I do with it? Where do I put it all?
Mm-hmm.
My piggy bank? It's full. It's overflowing.
Now that-
I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, straight $100
yeah,
bills.
boss. Oh,
in my
direct
piggy
it.
bank.
Can you direct deposit it into my piggy bank?
I just have a vault with a piggy bank in it.
No, the fans at home, the listeners at home are probably. We listen. We've got it before. We'll get it again. And we'll get it in the future. Personal finance, not a hobby. I think this
I think it
might
is
be
a
a
hobby.
hobby.
Yeah, I
this
think it
a
is
hobby.
actually.
I think it's something that if you do correctly, can take up a little bit of your time and can help you.
Yeah, and it's
That's
interesting. I'm pretty interested in it. I'll admit.
Yeah, I say so too.
I'd say I'm interested, but I'm not very well versed. This is my. You
Perfect.
guys are.
This
This
YouTube
is
video.
the teaching. No, the teaching song. This is the like.
Yeah, I'd prefer to be the Soulja Boy YouTube video. All right, Chris. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. First, grab your piggy bank. 2, 3, 4.
I gotta show you this video.
I think I have seen
that
it.
was like weirdly accurate. The lyrics, no, but everything else.
So what I wanted to start with is, when did you guys first have any experience in personal finance? Really, when was the first time you thought about saving money, like as a kid? I think it's something that they teach you a little bit growing up.
Yeah.
But you don't think about it.
Okay, I
don't know where I was.
Because I have a
taught,
clear memory.
This is kind of funny. I had like this Velcro wallet when I was a kid.
Nice.
And in the wallet there was like a zipper to like kind of like hide money maybe. So there was like the classic, like open your wallet and there's your bills, but it was like a Velcro wallet, so it had like a zipper in that kind of flap where you could put money in there.
Whoa.
So I would put
So it was the anti-mugging wallet.
Yeah,
Look,
basically.
I got nothing.
Basically, yeah. So I would put a lot of my money in there and
Wow.
think like, I'm gonna save this for a later date.
A rainy day, baby.
And no joke, I found that wallet about 2 years ago, and it probably had about $150 in
Whoa.
it.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
decent
and I was
amount of
like,
money.
all right, cool. Now I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty good.
that's
That's
like
nice.
one of my earliest memories of like trying to save money. It would be like if I got a $20 bill or something, I would just try to put it away.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got a job. So this was much after my Velcro wallet days, and seeing the paycheck and thinking like, I could legitimately be a millionaire. Like I remember doing the
If I
math.
play
Like,
this right.
like, how did I make this much money? I could be a millionaire.
'Cause your first
I
paycheck
could
is a
have
lot of
more
money.
money than Soulja Boy in a matter of. I mean, I probably have more money than Soulja Boy right now.
He played a show recently in our town, the town that we're in right now.
He
Don't
did?
Give it away.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
he
crazy.
played a show.
I think someone was telling me that.
Oh,
He
I wish I went.
Maybe it was a
That'd be
show
fun.
where he like showed up at a party. Come on, Soulja Boy.
He
Go
made an
hang out in
appearance.
cooler cities.
But yeah, so I don't remember. I had the knowledge of saving money. I just remember my parents talking about saving money, but I don't remember like actually like making a point to save my money until I had like so I was probably 16 years old or whenever I had a real
Yeah,
job.
same.
Can I tell you my intro? It's kind of fun. I went to an elementary school, as most people do, and they had a program. It had a name. I forget what it was, but basically the idea of it was that you brought in quarters every week, like as many quarters as you can scrounge
nice.
up. And I think you were kind of like encouraged to like ask your parents, like, "Yeah, can I have a few quarters?" or just
Yeah.
look around the house for it.
Right.
And then former NFL player Andre Tippett came in every week
Wait, what's happening?
and
here?
talked to you about the importance of saving money.
Are you serious?
Wait, a
True
real
story.
NFL player?
He's like
He's
might
on the
be in
Patriots.
He might be in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Wait, every single week.
I know. I think he just came. I think he came in like the first week and the last week. But he runs this program. At
Did
a
he
lot
have
of
a
schools.
kid at your school?
No. I mean, maybe. Probably not.
So was he like notoriously really bad or really good at saving money? How did he get his
you can
job?
only assume.
Well, the thing is with NFL player, like there's a documentary
Yeah,
about
very
NFL.
famous.
Do you think he's? You don't think he's in there?
It's funny because I no,
Do you think what's his name? Andre Tippett.
Andre Tippett.
Do you
It's
think
funny 'cause
Andre Tippett's in there just like shaking his head at all the NFL players?
It's funny because I googled him this morning to make sure it was actually him, and it was.
Oh, so he's in
Yeah,
on the
that's
program.
like- that's like-
awesome.
That's one of those memories you have. Like one random day, you're like,
no way.
wait,
I love those memories.
why did I think that was Andre
You-
Tippett, former NFL, possible Hall of Famer coming into my school? Wait a second, every week?
You're like, turns out it was just my history teacher. But it was fun because I mean, every week I'd bring a few quarters.
Right.
End of the year, $20. Like, yeah,
Whoa.
that's cool. You don't think about it, and then
Yeah,
all of a
that's
sudden, wow.
that's
Yeah,
And
that's
they just gave you your quarters at the
And
end.
they taught you about
Andre Tippett. He took a percentage off the top, of course.
but they would teach you
Sorry,
about.
Chris.
I remember in that class I learned for the first time about interest.
Oh,
And then-
in elementary school?
Yeah, well, it was
That's
just the
pretty
idea.
bold.
He's like, you can either have your quarters, or they would actually put our money into a bank. We had like
Yeah, I
a-
was gonna say you
we
didn't get
put
any
it into
interest on
Andre
it, though.
Tippett savings.
This is just so wild.
And
Like Andre Tippett, like
This
I'm-
is the wait.
every
This is
week
the mob.
somehow.
This is the mob. Andre Tippett is a mob boss. He's taking your money.
Andre Tippett's Google alerts are blowing up right now.
All right, so he.
So at the end of the year, they said like, hey, you got
did you get interest?
obviously very little. It's like
Yeah.
pennies. I think most savings account are like 0.5% or less. But
Yeah,
it was cool to
I
see.
know,
It's
I wonder
like
if you
it
got
was
any.
before. It was just sitting there. Now it's as a grade. We accumulated like maybe $1 or whatever. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
and then
great.
He taught,
yeah.
and then he said,
That's
you
great in
know,
elementary
you
school
learn
to teach
about
kids that.
compound interest at the
yeah,
most
this
basic
is
level.
wicked funny
Starts
because
adding up.
you are known in our friend group as like the most frugal person, like always trying to save your money.
Always, yeah.
And it's really interesting to me, like hearing that, like
Maybe that's where it came
little
from.
Chris just like all of a sudden being like schooled by this amazing Hall of Fame football player on personal finance, and just like the rest of his life just like amazing at
But
it.
I feel like there is a big difference. Maybe we'll get into this later in the episode between
Being frugal and
being
personal
frugal
finance.
and like
Yeah,
having
that's true.
Yeah.
a good grasp on your
I
money.
agree with
kind
that
of.
actually.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you could be.
You
I guess
could-
we'll get into it.
you
but
could
if,
you could
if
have
you're
a good
doing the right
grasp on your money
steps-
without being frugal, but being
Right.
frugal does let you be.
You can be
have good
frugal in the
personal
right
finance.
things.
I
as
think
long
if
as you know
if
what
you're doing
doing
the right steps to have good finance, first of all, like putting enough money away, whatever.
Yeah.
Then if you're allowing yourself a certain percentage of your money for spending, well, who says you have to be frugal with
Exactly.
that money?
Spend
You're
it on
gonna
what you want.
That's your money to spend.
You gotta
no
spend
matter
money on
what.
the
That's
things that you want to spend
that's
on.
exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So,
Um,
but if you're being frugal so you could put more money away or whatever, then great.
Mhm.
That's good. That's
That's
good to be
good.
frugal.
That's
but
good.
you don't need either
Exactly.
way. You,
Mhm.
So that's what I want to say. So I wanted to say, like, so how much time do you spend tracking your spend? Is it something that you think is a high priority right now in your life? How much are you spending on certain
So
things?
I used to do this. There was this app I had. I think it was called
Mint,
I think it was called Wall-E.
Wally?
Yeah, like
I'm a fan of Mint.
the
but we'll get
Pixar
into that.
movie.
yeah, like the Pixar movie, and it was kind of cool because then you'd like when you put in a coin, he'd like wave
It was
to
like
you.
Evie.
No, but it was like just you would. I don't know what this Mint one is. It's probably the same thing, but I would just write like how much I spent. I would just track my purchases basically.
Yeah.
Like it would be like gas or
Yeah.
whatever. You'd choose what it was. You'd say what you spent it on. And I think I just wasn't able to keep up with it because it was just too much. But I like the idea for like a vacation. If you're gonna like have a vacation, like you already have bought the plane ticket, and then you're like, okay, I want to spend like $500 at most on like food and anything I want to buy or something. Then I think it was good to use that. But
Yeah.
I ended up like when I went to Paris for a month, I just had a note on my phone, which I did keep up with, but it was just too much. It
Yeah,
was just
get on-
like, oh
gotta
my
get
God,
on-
what am I doing?
Get on the Mint. So
Yeah.
Mint is that, but it does it all for you. So you just
Right,
put in
does all the
your card
calculations.
information.
And do you write like because the Wally one I remember
You don't have to write anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything in Mint.
You just make your payment, and it says
it transfers for you?
No, well, it doesn't. It's aware of your
Oh,
spending.
Mint
so
Mint does it after you spend. Are
Yeah.
you saying you do it?
Yeah.
You want to do it before you spend?
No, that's great. Like, but the Wally one, that's why I was saying I couldn't
Wally,
keep
you
up with
just
it because I had to type it in every
no,
time.
this it
So
says,
that's
oh, I
good.
went to Subway, I spent $8. It's like, oh, restaurants, $8.
and it would show
Yeah.
up on Mint.
Yeah, so it's
That's
super useful.
great. That is
and
really
then
good.
it gives you, and that's I think how I track it the most. Is it
Okay.
gives you
Yeah.
kind of like a monthly or weekly update how you did.
Right.
See what I do actually, I don't know if this is a big thing, but on my for my bank account, I actually like basically every week if there's a new charge, I'll like edit the description so that all my descriptions are like what I've done, so I know that I've done this for this time. Same with like
Wait,
the
what do
house
you mean?
account.
What do you mean?
So like for my Bank of America house account, I guess I don't need to shout out Bank of America, but
Give me the
for-
give
yeah,
me
here's
that.
the
Yeah,
account
give us the routing
and
number.
I can't give you the routing number. So for the house account is like an easier example, I guess, is like someone will deposit money, and basically every week or every few days I check and I make sure that first of all I have like an Excel document where like everyone's put in. I check like to see who's put in what kind of like who's put in utilities, who's put in rent this month, blah blah
Okay.
blah blah. So I have, like,
This is a literal your apartment mates.
yes.
Okay,
yes.
I thought a house account
Yeah,
was
so
just
sorry,
what
I
you're
call
you
it
have
a
a
house
joint bank account with your.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yes. Well, it is like under my name, but
So
they
you have
just
a
give me-
bank
They
account
just put
just
money
for
into
your
this bank
apartment.
account.
Okay.
It's for this.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
for the house. I have an Excel document. This is like the best. This is my best personal finance, and it's not even for me.
It's
for,
not
like,
yours.
the house. But it's actually really cool. I got it, so I got like all the formulas and everything. So I just like type buttons
Listen,
and it comes
It's not
out
an
with
episode
something.
on Microsoft Excel.
It just
So
comes out with
personal
something that
finance.
says like amount of money that should be in the account, and then it gives me a number, and then I check the account. And in the account, I have like what I'm saying is I've edited the description of every transaction so that I see like okay,
Oh, so in Excel you're editing it.
no, in Bank
Oh,
of America,
okay.
I'm editing it. It's kind of like
I didn't know
a
you could do that.
fail safe. So I should have some certain amount of money in the account, and if I don't, well, I have a paper trail. I can
So
check exactly.
are you editing
what's
saying like
wrong? What's
let's
missing?
say theoretically you had a roommate named like Tim or something.
Yeah,
Are you gonna say like Tim's or Tim's
Yes.
heat or whatever?
I'd be like, yeah.
So then
like
you could
Tim-
say,
Tim
oh,
rent
wait.
plus some amount utilities.
Let's
yeah.
like theoretically you had a roommate named I don't know Bertha or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Tim paid for heat, but Bertha
Bertha
she hasn't
sounds
paid
like
for
the
heat in
landlord.
6
Yeah.
months.
And actually, the Excel document is more useful for that The one on Bank of America is just easy, so I can look up like, okay, like.
See,
right,
you're
like,
wasting your personal finance time on your roommates.
Yeah.
You should
That's
be
true,
putting
yeah.
this effort
Yeah, do you
towards
apply
your
any
own
of this to
finance.
your own life?
I do it for my own bank account, but honestly, I've definitely mentioned this before, but I have 2 credit cards, and that's one of them is for like dining, I guess, and one of them is for like other stuff. So that's where I spend all my like bank account is paying off credit cards and
'Cause
like,
you don't put
and like
anything on a debit
Spotify
card.
Premium. Like,
But your credit card, you could do the same thing for your credit card. You could put your, like, it doesn't have to be with your debit. You could set a credit card up with Mint or whatever too.
no, that's
Is
good.
that what you mean?
No, I'm just saying that
Like-
like you guys were like, oh, but you don't do that with your other account. Well, that's because
It does it for you
it
or something.
that's because I just use the credit card. But what I'm saying is that I should be using Mint
Because you could do the same
because
thing
I
with
could
your
do that
credit
with
card.
Mint. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right, now here's
but
my
I don't
question.
do that. I
Do you
just
have
do for my roommates.
Do you have a credit card,
I do.
Chris?
Yeah.
I just got a credit card recently.
Really?
I feel like I'm late to the game to this credit card.
you are.
thing.
You're definitely late.
'Cause now
I freaked out. I got one almost a year ago, a little less than a year ago. But I freaked out because I was afraid I was going to start getting rejected because I didn't have a
bad
credit score. Yeah,
But you have a credit. Everyone
Oh,
has
you
a
do?
credit score.
Everyone.
It's just it's not
It's not gonna be
necessarily
good until
good.
it- yeah.
It's not
Until-
good but it's not
It's not bad.
it's just nothing probably.
Yeah. Because it's
until-
like when I
until
got my
yeah.
first apartment, they did a credit score check.
Mhm.
And I was nervous because I had just gotten a credit
Yeah.
card, didn't have any credit. And they're like, the guy basically was like, yeah, your credit score's not good, but it's not bad.
Right.
You're not going to get rejected for it.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I have this weird myth that credit is really like, it's a myth. It's a weird, standard.
I agree.
And it's something
I mean, we're wrong, but I agree.
we're wrong. And I don't know. I think when I'm thinking of personal finance, I try not to think about my credit score as.
yeah, I definitely.
I
agree with
personally,
that.
like, because
No, yeah.
the way I like to think about personal finance is I kind of use my like net worth as a score, if that makes any sense. Not
Whoa.
like, so this sounds confusing.
people are googling Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I need a hobby net
Yeah.
worth.
And it makes it sound like I'm like obsessed with money, but it's like, it's cool to see the money build,
I agree
especially
with
when
this,
you
though.
are aware of what's happening to do it. You're like, okay, this month I spent less on this and I got more money doing this.
Mhm.
Right. That's what
Check me out.
investments is. Like
Yeah.
the money you have could essentially mean nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could put your money
Mhm.
into all these investments and you could have $5 left.
Yeah. And
But
it's,
all these investments, that's where your money is. So you could
Mhm.
sell this money or you could sell whatever or you could take your money out and then you have more money. So the money in your bank account could theoretically just mean nothing. It doesn't
I
mean
agree.
anything.
exactly. And
you
when
know?
you think about, Andre Tippett's lesson, if it's just sitting there as quarters, it's not making any money. And
That's
here's
true. But I'm going to bring this up at the end because I need some advice
Mhm.
on some of that.
okay,
Maybe not at the end. Should I bring it up now?
bring it up now.
I have so here's my personal finance.
Sure.
What I do in my life. I have a checking account
Mm-hmm.
where I have money that I'm going to spend. I have a separate account in a different. It's not with my bank. It's through like an online bank that I put money to invest.
Mhm.
It's like I don't touch it. I don't.
Is
do
it a
anything.
savings account or is it like a?
That's a savings account.
But
Okay.
do you invest
It's a-
yourself?
It's a Roth IRA. So I'm
dude,
not
I
allowed.
want to get one of those.
I'm not allowed to touch it. You can't touch it until you got to get one. That's my number one tip.
You get that when you retire or something?
Yeah, when you're 65. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I really wanted to get one of those.
You do it. You can do it today,
Yeah.
and you should, because
Yeah.
you could put in. Well, we could get into it. So I have that I'm investing money,
Mhm.
or that I'm saving money in,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have a savings account through my bank. That the interest on that is like
Nothing.
it's like absolutely nothing.
It's
So
not
it's
worth it at all,
essentially
I
me
think.
putting money under my bed, like
Yeah.
as they say in my under my mattress. What do I do with that money?
Mm.
Because
I'd say invest that in your own stocks because
but here's the thing.
Yeah.
First of all, you need an emergency fund,
For
right?
sure.
What if something bad happens to me?
You lose your job, you have to pay for
I
it.
need money.
Because that's the trouble with those Roth IRAs. If you or 401ks
can't put all your money
or
in
long-term investments, is they're great until you're out of cash.
Wait, so
Right.
do you continuously put money into your Roth IRA or no?
Yeah, every month, baby.
Okay.
Every month, baby.
That's good.
Thanks, baby.
baby.
But this money,
Mhm.
so I need money I need to have money.
Yeah.
Boom. What do I do with the rest?
Can I tell you
know?
my number one principle for cash?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
boy.
hear it, baby.
The most important thing that I think of is the interest rate. So here's how I like to think about it. Like
This is a great podcast already.
I've been,
I'm
me and-
loving it.
And I will say, me and Alex have conversations.
Yeah, we
about
talk
this a lot.
about
I'm excited for
Here's
this.
one thing I think about. So
Yeah.
when you think about your net worth, you think about the money you have, the money that you owe.
Yeah.
Currently,
That's net. Definition of net right there, baby.
that's my net. So I have my money in my account. I personally have a checking account, a money market savings account, which is just your average savings account.
Is that like in your bank?
It's in my bank, very low interest.
All right, that's probably what I have.
What bank do you have?
Not important.
Santander.
Yeah, I've heard the tellers at Santander are much nicer than the Bank of America
guys.
tellers.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard
I have
that.
Liberty Bank. I don't know if that's local to Connecticut.
I've never heard it.
Yeah.
And then I have a 401k which I invest in, and
Is that through your work?
It's through my work, so I put in a percentage. I'll get into this later. They match up to a certain amount.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
it's basically it's free money. Like so, it's like
Yeah.
they'll match up to 5%, so I get the additional 5%. But when I think about interest, so I also, in addition to all this money I have, have money that I owe. So I have, I think, 3 different student loans, which all vary in the amounts of interest. One's like 3%, one's 6%, which is a little bit higher.
You have all your, gambling debts.
I have all my gambling debts. I have I have all the IOUs of you. No, so I have those, and then
Listen, I'll get you back. Have you seen my net worth? Check it out. It's online.
And then I also have my debt on my car. So I bought a car out of college, which I put down about probably just like 20% of the car's price, and I pay a monthly fee. Over 5 months. I'll pay it back, but there is like 4% interest.
Over 5 months?
5 years.
Oh, I was like, geez, that's about another 20% the next month and the next month.
But here's how I like to think about it.
But what I'm saying is, guys, can you help me out?
Please. So the way I think about it in this whole equation is if your money's just sitting there, you got to think interest compounds, baby.
Right.
So 3% each year gets bigger and bigger. So
but the money that's sitting there
is doing nothing.
That money that's sitting there in your savings, in your money-making saving account, there's interest on it. But it could be somewhere where there's much more interest on it.
So my thoughts are,
like,
even if currently my savings account has very little, and instead of keeping it there, I've just been investing more aggressively into my student loans, into my car debt, because if you think about it,
that's interest too, but it's interest in the negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
You're diminishing your losses on the accruing interest. Instead, I could think, so say my highest student loan is 6%. If I thought that I had a way that I could make that money make me 10%, it would be ridiculous to not do that.
Yeah.
You're losing money.
Right
now, I don't think that I have means to do that.
Yeah. See, that's
which is why I'm investing it back into that.
So maybe I should just go attack my student loans even harder.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially the same
that's what
as
I'm thinking.
Wait, but you're saying the student loans get more and more interest is what you're saying, right? So that the quicker you pay them off, the better it is, because you're putting it in your savings account and it's not gaining enough interest to like make it worth it. Yeah, I agree.
It's like this is the. It's like a graph of it's like an elevation chart when you look at a marathon. You know, like you want to see
this
is your neutral.
Flat.
Every time you don't pay off your student loans, you go into a downhill.
Yeah.
Every time you invest in
wait a minute.
account,
So you're saying we should just never pay them off, right? Nice downhill course.
But every time you invest in a bank account, it goes up. But every time you want to go up, you're not your student loans are adding up. So it's like you have to pick and choose between which one you want. Do you want more positive or less negative? Essentially.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
Exactly.
And right now, I'm just getting the negative.
But you should want less negative, because
well,
that's one thing I wanted
less
to
negative.
ask you guys about, because I had money in my savings account too, and I was just like, this is stupid. It's not gaining any interest,
Yeah, exactly.
so I just got rid of it for now.
Yeah, you
All right.
might as
Here's another question I have. So you pay off your student loans, right?
Yep.
Now they set you up with these plans, right?
Yeah.
Like you could have an 8-year plan or whatever.
And I actually don't have to do that yet. I will.
Yeah, you're deferred.
This upcoming year, because
Now let's say
I graduate in May.
I could set myself up with like an 8-year or 10-year plan, whatever. Or I could speed that up and just pay more and get it over with faster.
Exactly.
But my quality of life would go down because I would have less money.
All about
our friend Chris.
So where do you go? What do you go for?
One of our friends was talking to me about it, because at UMass we're in state, so we don't have like a whole lot of student loans, and he was saying that he was literally considering like living at home, not having fun for like a full year, like not doing anything, just living at home, eating, having his like parents cook for him and everything, like year salary, pay off his student loans in full, and then living the rest of his life. And I was like, dude, you're like. And he was like, it was kind of a joke, but at the same time, like, it's like a little like, wow, that would be like interesting.
But also a lot of people
like, it's
don't
not
have
practical.
that.
It's not practical.
Some people don't have parents to go home to.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And it's like when you think about it, it's a very like it's a big equation. It's everything goes into it.
Exactly.
And you think about like how the quality of life. Like when I think about it, I'm gonna pay off my loans. I'm doing a little bit more aggressively than the plan that I'm on.
Yeah.
So it's like I pay a certain amount a month, but I'm paying a little bit more on top.
Yeah.
And the way I think about it is like I could pay it all. Like right now, I think I have enough where, not enough where I could pay it all off, but I could put a big chunk in it.
Right.
But I'm like, over the however many years, it'll be a few thousand more dollars.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter that much.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd
like,
rather spend those few $1,000s on like pizza and
Yeah.
you know,
I could like what
because
you
you
said.
can't be like I am frugal, like
Okay.
people will say it, but I am willing to have some fun.
See, I have another thing where like, so my first year of grad school, I got like a fellowship basically where I'm guaranteed a teacher's assistant position,
Right.
and it's guaranteed like funding, which is like pretty good funding, like well more than I needed. And the first year I was getting 20 hours a week funding for both semesters. It just worked out that way. But I would still somehow find a way to like spend not all the money, but I wouldn't have like a whole lot of money.
Yeah, those,
right?
those
And
grad
then-
school things usually set you up to get by. And
Yeah,
maybe
no,
a little more.
but this semester I like wasn't banking on this, but I actually only got the halftime. It's just random, not performance based, okay? But I only got the halftime, so I was making like way less money. And
Half of it.
originally I was freaking out, like, oh man, like I'm not gonna have
Right.
any money, but I've been
You make
okay.
do.
Yeah.
So this is the
Yeah.
That's the
thing.
thing. Is like I need to be like I'm literally thinking like I hope my last semester I'll get that full time again, and I
'Cause
can
now
just
you
live
know.
the same way I'm living now and be like, okay, I need to set
Yeah.
aside this
This is the-
extra X amount
The
of
number
money.
one, I think, if anyone's gonna take anything out of this is the number one like principle. Like, you, no matter what you're making right now, even if it's like almost nothing, you could be making less. Like
Yeah.
you didn't realize you could be making
Yeah,
half.
I literally didn't.
So you have to do that for yourself. If you made 10% or 20% less than what you're making right now, you would figure out how to live.
Yeah.
and I
So
think
just do that to yourself,
yeah,
and then put that money away, and you're going to be much better off in the future.
Yeah.
and I think
Like,
one of
You could figure
You have
out
to
if-
like trick yourself.
if your employer forced you to be paying to earn 20% less, you would figure it out.
because I think you need to always live like within your means, and then less. You know what I mean? Because the way I like to think about it is I got a bit of a raise a few months ago.
Hey.
Check me out.
Not performance based.
Incredibly performance based. But I got a promotion, and my first thought was like, nice. Now I can
But you
upgrade
can't-
my
you can't.
apartment. I can get a new car. Maybe I'll make a big purchase.
Like, if
but
you-
no,
sorry, go on.
but instead I was just like, right now I'm putting the 5% to my 401k. Up that baby to 10.
Yeah, that's
and
what-
I
that's what I'm
haven't
talking about.
noticed. I haven't thought
You
about
don't
it.
realize
I
it.
don't think about it until I do a podcast about it.
if you get like a 10% raise or whatever,
Yeah.
you can't do a 10%
can't-
lifestyle upgrade
'Cause
because
then
then you
you're-
just got no raise.
Exactly.
You do like a 3% lifestyle upgrade, 7% more into your investing.
That's how you gotta think about
and then
it. It's all this grand
in
equation.
20 years, you're gonna have like 100% increase in lifestyle.
Yeah, this is good. This is really interesting
Yeah.
because I've like thought about this too. Because right when I got that halftime, I was really bummed. I was like freaking out. Like, wow, like this is gonna be so hard. And
Right.
like I guess I'm not like before. It was like easy to just have a lot of money, I guess, and I was able to
All right.
go on like. Well, I meant like for like traveling or something. Like, but now I feel like I am like not able to do that. But at the same time, is my like quality of life that much worse? No, like I've been
Right.
able to do like I should have been doing this the whole time is what I'm saying.
And what it comes down to, you got to make your money work for you.
Yeah, that's what it's
I
all
think,
about.
Like, because that's the thing.
That's true.
That's what it all comes down to.
Because that's what it's doing.
And I hate when people.
That's what compound interest
I hate when
is.
people say things about people for buying things. Like, I have a friend who has like he has a few cars. I think he has like a car and a truck and a motorcycle. And people are like, "Wow, I can't believe how do you afford it?" And he's like, "That's like what I like to do." Like,
Yeah,
he's like, "That's
see,
where I spend
that's
my
what
money."
I'm talking
He's
about.
like, "You probably spend your money like going out to bars, doing that, but that's fine. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
No one complains about that.
That's
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying.
If you can make your money work for you,
Yeah,
for your things
that's
that you
true,
want to
that's
do,
true.
like
you put your
and
money
invest into your hobbies. Invest
Put it
into the things
where
you
your
like.
mouth is, right?
I
Take-
spend way too much on like road races. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
silly
not
that I
enough on
spend
this
$100 to
podcast.
run a marathon,
That's
or
not-
it's silly that we do end up
But it's
spending
not
some money on
silly.
this. But it's
It's
That's
not
the thing.
silly.
it's
You
not
take-
silly. Is what like it's silly to a lot of people. For me, it's not.
you figure out what you could save
Mhm.
if it's 10%, 20%,
Yeah.
100%. I
Mhm.
wish. You save that. Figure out what you need to put away to your debt or whatever.
Mhm.
You do that. Figure out what you need to spend to live. Do that. Now you have X% for you. So
Yeah.
you've put your money away 1st.
Mhm.
Now you have money for you. If you spend that buying trucks or whatever,
Dude,
no,
it's
like
fine, yeah.
that's
That's your life.
You just put X amount of money away for your future and for your debt. Why shouldn't you be able to do that?
Yeah.
People don't put any money away, don't pay their debts at all, and then spend way too much on their hobbies. and you're being responsible and then doing it, and people judge you for that. That's ridiculous.
Well, I
you
feel
know?
like in this case, you are assuming that the guy is being responsible. You have no idea. He could have just
He might
been
not be.
Chris,
driving trucks.
that was in the character description beforehand.
A very responsible man who has a truck.
Here's
But
a scenario for you guys.
And then I think
But I was saying, when I go out and I buy my blow, my drugs, and whatnot,
Yeah.
high quality.
people are judging me because I don't have a Roth IRA. I mean, come
Guess
on.
what I do?
You're like, I invest in my hobbies.
Don't you understand?
But I think you're right. I think you get your money that you're spending on everyday expenses. I think it's good to have. I have in my money market savings is about 6 months of living.
Yeah,
is
that's
how-
what I think. That's what they
I
say
think that
is
was a tip I got from my dad. He said, have 6 months in case you need it.
Yeah.
If I lose my job tomorrow, I could get by for 6 months living in the same way I do.
Right.
So it's like my rent, my utilities, my food, and
My
then
blow.
a little bit below.
Hey.
I think it's good to have that, and then your bonus money. Hey, have some fun with it.
Right.
Invest or
That's what I'm
buy a
saying.
dang truck. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any financial goals? I don't want like
whoa.
Love this.
not like number specific, but like, do you think you'll want to buy a car? But you think you want to buy a house one day, or short term, long term?
We had a friend call us
Yeah,
this
I
summer,
was
Chris,
dying to bring this up.
who is a few years younger than us, and we ran cross country with him. And he was like hadn't talked to us in a while, and he was like at an internship or something.
Doing like
Basically,
financial
like
planning.
interviewed us about our financial goals and stuff.
I've had people call
and
me
it
about
was
this too, friends.
first of all, it was nice to just like talk to him and catch up with him, even though the like subject matter was kind of weird. But it definitely made me think. I was like, what are my financial goals?
Yeah.
Like, what
Right.
am I really
interesting.
doing
He's
here?
like,
I don't
where
know.
do you see yourself in 5 years? And it's
Yeah.
like
I know it's scary. I
like
really don't know.
the reason I like doing stuff about that is because it makes you think about not just your money, but like your career. Like
Yeah.
he's like,
Right.
where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was like, yeah, like I think I see myself at the same company. And he's like, what about in 25 years? And I'm like, wow, am I even going to be in this
Easy,
country?
easy.
You know, it's interesting.
So I don't know what I have for like financial goals. Like one thing I thought was interesting was that everyone, like a lot of my friends, including you two, when we graduated college, most people just bought cars. And not saying that was bad, but I don't know if I like want to do that right away, because my car is like not, people might not like it if they're not me, because I'm used to it, I guess, but it's certainly not like the best. You know what I mean? Like a ride in your car will always be smoother than mine because it's really old. It's like it's a classic like first kind of car.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like for now it works for me, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to upgrade that.
Yeah.
And you got to, I think it's interesting. You got to think about all the, like, it's a big equation. When I was thinking about what car I wanted, I was like, okay, I know I need to buy a car.
Mhm.
What's it going to be? And
I know Alex has a great car.
Yeah. But I was like, in my head, I was like, I kind of want a bigger car in case I want to go on like a road trip or something. But then I really thought about it. I was like, I really just want like the most basic, dependable, safe investment. So that's where I put my money. But at the same time, it depends on your job. Like if who knows, if you're living in a city and you're working in a city, you don't need a car. Like that's not where you should be putting your money. It's interesting.
I see. Now you got me thinking about financial goals, because that's the point. Like that's basically the point of putting away money is because you need it for something in the future.
Yeah.
I don't freaking know. You know, I guess I obviously would want to buy a house in the future when I have a family, but who knows? You know, with my luck, that's not going to be for 35, 40 years from now, having a family.
And like here, I have a question for you guys. Not necessarily financial goals, but one thing I've thought about is I've been thinking like I feel like I'd rather just not buy material possessions, or like, well, obviously get something, but and instead use that money to go on a vacation. Like I'd say go on more vacations and
I would agree with
less like material possessions. I've just thought of like,
but that's a personality thing.
no, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that that's better.
Because
But
I think
curious.
I'm on your side with that because I like the experience.
Right,
over
because it was like thinking it. Also, like the other end of that sword is like, why would you spend so much money on food when like you could get groceries or cheaper food, or like stop going out
But
to
it's all
restaurants
about quality
if
of
you get
life.
cheaper food, and then you can like buy a material possession or something, like save money that way.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just feel like I'd rather like go on a vacation with my money. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like it almost comes down to like what it's like a person. Like I said,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the one guy wants to buy trucks.
Yeah,
I want to go on vacation.
Some people might say
that's
like, why would you go out to eat all the time?
Yeah.
When you could buy a PS4, but someone might just really be interested in food,
Exactly,
and not interested in video games.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. I'm a experienced kind of guy. I would rather go on a vacation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to get like I don't even know what material possessions I have. Like, there's nothing. If I walk through my apartment right now, there's nothing I would point out and be like, that's my material possession.
Exactly.
I
And
bought
it's a
that.
funny thing to think about because I do have the car now, but besides that, the most expensive thing I own is my laptop, which is
Yeah, same.
and it's a cheap laptop. So it's like you don't need much stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of my personal goals that I've set for myself, which who knows, life may
Okay.
change, and I think it came from that conversation with our friend.
Yeah.
Is I think something that's really important to me is like financial independence.
Yeah.
Like I do right now, I have a job, but I think it'd be very cool to like retire early or to
Yeah.
like, you know,
That's-
just be able
that's
to like kind of live with it, like make your money work for you in a better sense.
Yeah.
So like
As
I
in
think
like not having to work the 9 to 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
But
like
essentially, anyone that owns a business,
yeah.
that's just like investing into
Mhm.
that and making that money work.
I had a good conversation with
Does that make sense?
my old landlord at my old place, and he said, yeah, he owns like 10 places in Boston, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to like buy a house earlier, and then
See,
know,
that's the thing. That's
not
Like-
but not tomorrow, but like I think that's a
You
that's
wanna
a
rent out a
that's a
house to
financial
people?
goal for me is you know when I'm a young adult to own a house and probably just have it for myself, but hopefully to when I sell
So
it eventually to make money.
I know
off of it.
people that one of my friends is like living in Southie in like a rented apartment that he's renting from his older brother who
Yeah.
bought the like
See, that's
area or
super
whatever.
cool.
That's interesting.
Because I
thought.
mean, you think about it, so it's like you could, in theory, if you can save enough money, buy a place, get people
that's
to
the thing.
live
You
there,
got to save the money first,
and then
though.
you're free rent. But I mean, you do have to put down a decent down payment and then eventually sell it. And
Right.
That's how you're making money.
Right.
And then if you can like flex your money enough where you can have a few things like that, whether it be stuff like that or stuff like a podcast that you make a little money on,
Right.
or stuff like just like little side hustles, and then
See,
by the time you're 50 and
you
it all
know
comes
what?
together.
It's
That's
gonna
the
make me
dream.
sound like a foiled hat conspiracy theorist, but like the quote unquote. See, I don't even want to say this
Do
because it's
it,
gonna
do
make
it.
me sound like a bad
Do it.
person.
Do it.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but the idea is like the wealthy people don't make like Jay-Z right now
Mm-hmm.
probably doesn't make any money from rapping.
Yeah.
He makes 90% of his money from like all of his investments and any businesses he's invested in or any businesses he owns.
Uh-huh.
The rich people make money from putting their money other places. So
Yeah.
why shouldn't that
We
be
do
any
that-
different
Yeah.
every step down the ladder?
We'll do it at a smaller we won't start title.
90% of the working people are like they're making the majority of their money probably from a paycheck,
Yeah.
whereas there's probably options to make money other ways.
Definitely.
You know,
Mhm.
obviously, I'm not saying go out and quit your job.
And
I'm just saying like the rich shouldn't be controlling everything.
I'll
I don't
also
know.
say it's
I don't know what I'm getting at. Does that make sense?
I think it's riskier for us too because it's at
Oh,
a
yeah, no
smaller
doubt.
level. So it's like when you're Jay-Z, you can have 20 businesses, and if half
Yeah.
them fail, you
Right.
might still break even. With us,
Yeah.
if we put all our money
Yeah,
into one
that's
thing,
no
I-
doubt. No
I
doubt.
feel
It's
I feel like the
riskier, yeah.
classic thing is like where what we're doing now with our lives, like getting the college degree and getting a job, like that is like hopefully is like a backup plan. Honestly, like everyone's
It's
got
all
the
about
dreams
risk.
to like
It's all about
find
risks.
something that they
Yeah.
can. That like what Chris is saying, either like you're able to retire early because you've invested well or something like that.
Right.
You've managed your money well,
Mhm.
or you know, we make a ton of money from the podcast or something
Right,
like
but
that.
that's
You
the
know,
thing.
like that's
Yeah.
the idea.
That's what I
Everyone has
mean.
like their own
and
little
it's-
thing.
I think even
that
just
they
stuff
would
like
like
that
to
is the
do.
equation. Like right now, I'm at a job that I'm pretty happy at. I
Yeah.
enjoy doing, and I make enough money that I'm happy with it. If it was one or the other, if I was making half the money and still loved it, maybe I'd look somewhere else. If I
Right.
was making double the money and hated it, maybe I'd look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta all like play all that into
It's
it.
just stressful. I don't know.
I
just think-
luckily we're young enough where and I think we're all very fortunate. Like if we were in trouble, we could have means to survive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a fun. I don't know. You have a lot of options.
You know who you guys? I listen to this podcast. You know Rob Dyrdek from the Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He is like you think of him and be like, oh, he's just from Fantasy Factory. He is insanely successful because of like the principles of
Mhm.
basically making the money work for you. Like
Oh, that's
before he
pretty
was
cool.
eating a skateboarder.
Where'd you listen to this?
There's a podcast. I think it's called The School of Greatness, and that he was on it, but it might have been a different one.
All right.
Good podcast though. And he like, I don't want to get into it, but look it up.
Just say this part.
He essentially just made, even before he was a successful skateboarder, when he was a skateboarder professionally, he decided to design shoes for shoe companies, and he basically said like every single shoe that I sell, I want this percentage of. So then when that shoe blew up, instead of getting like a base, like, all right, we'll pay you this much to design a shoe, he got a percentage of every single shoe sold.
Because he said it first.
Because
Because
really
he
just,
decided
like,
it. So
trusted
then
his
he
word.
just so he had the knowledge of like how to make money early on. Now he's a professional skateboarder. Finagles his way into a TV show. He's got 15 million businesses now. Like he's incredibly successful off of what, skateboarding?
And it's so
That's what I mean. That's like the risk thing.
I love
That's
hearing
He
cool.
took a
stories.
risk
Yeah.
to be a skateboarder, whereas it's a great payoff. He's probably a multimillionaire now,
Yeah.
or it's a big loss. Like you don't have a college
But when it
degree.
comes down to it,
Whereas you
what's
take-
the loss? It's a year,
right,
And then you can go back to college.
that's the thing.
And that's why it's like
Drop out, you idiot. No, just
yeah,
kidding.
I'm not saying drop out, but when I think about it, it's like it's when
But it's a
I
risk. It
didn't
is a
even,
risk.
I didn't even think about not going to college. I
Yeah.
did pretty well in high school, and I was like, oh, I go to college now. But it's like I think more people should be encouraged to like
But
college is important, but
the other side of
depends on
the
what you
risk,
want to do.
the other side of the risk is we see people like Rob Dyrdek and Jay Z. They made the risk, were successcul.
Yeah, there are
You see,
plenty of
you don't see the people that made
Yeah,
the risk and
that's
were
true.
not successful.
But
The
I
other
think about like my job now. I don't think I definitely couldn't have gotten without a college degree. But
Right.
are there other jobs that
but
are
I
similar
think
that I'd
that
like?
I think college is different. Like obviously, like
oh,
right,
there's
you can be
definitely
successful without going to
there's
college. But
definitely a conspiracy theory around college. Am I the only foil hat one here?
I think I like grew up a lot in college, and I think the whole college experience was like very essential to like how I've been able to like
yeah,
live.
that's
Even
true.
though
There's
the
sides to it,
job
for
I
sure.
get, my degree is probably going to be like not meaningless, but like what we talked about this earlier, Chris. That like
You need to get in the door, and then that's
you need the degree to get the job,
Just
but then
said
you
it,
don't
yeah.
need
Yeah.
it for like
Yeah.
it's just like an entry thing. But
I would just love
I
the
forget where I was going with
idea
this.
of Jay-Z being in the same field but having like a mechanical engineering degree.
yeah, that'd be so funny.
Like, yeah, you know what? I didn't want to take the risk and it still paid off.
I
That's
don't know.
funny.
I don't know.
I don't know. We strayed away from the personal finance part, but I just think always having that
But I think hearing those success stories
principle
kind
in
of
your
can
mind.
like
Yeah,
paint a picture that there's a lot of options, a lot of different
Yeah.
options.
definitely a lot of options.
Like Jay-Z, the fact that Jay-Z, I have all this money in my savings account thinking, oh, I have money because it's in my savings account doing nothing.
Mhm.
Jay-Z might have $0 in his savings account
Yeah.
right now. Is there an argument that I'm wealthier than Jay-Z?
That's true.
Obviously not. Like, you have to do stuff. You have to have personal financing knowledge.
Can I tell you guys another thing that I read on? I prepping for this, I read just like 50 tips for finance, and one thing that I thought was a very interesting point was when you're thinking about how much you're spending on something, think about the cost per use. So
That's
like,
what I was talking about.
how much you're spending
the
and
food
how
versus the
Yeah.
other thing.
So it's like because the way they described it is like if you buy a $10 sweatshirt or a $40 sweatshirt,
Mhm.
if you're able to use the $40 sweatshirt 4 times as much, it's more valuable.
Yeah.
Is that like the same idea as like the spend money, like how they say spend a lot of money on your shoes and your
Yeah.
mattress because that's where you're spending time?
Yeah, and I think that that's really, and I think that that's where I used to be very frugal, and that's something I've learned recently. Is like, I used to always buy the cheapest sweatshirt, the cheapest whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I'm a little bit more like, okay, I should have
The
a winter
second
jacket.
cheapest.
Yeah,
All right, I
I'm
want to
working my way
know.
up.
I want to know what your guys' best purchases is.
Oh, that's a great
Because
question.
that's the same idea. If you could
Mhm.
spend, a
Mhm.
small percentage more money to get a big percentage
Mhm.
in increase in lifestyle, why you should spend that.
Yeah.
That equation, you're losing money not doing that.
I have a pretty
essentially.
good example.
I'm trying to
3 years ago, or maybe 4 years at this point, I got a pair of slippers from LL Bean,
Whoa.
which were like $80, which to me at that point in my life, and I got
That's a
them as a
lot.
gift, so I didn't actually like buy them.
Okay.
But-
that changes everything.
yeah, that changes everything.
But it was like something that I wanted to buy, and Christmas
Okay,
around the corner.
alright.
So at the time, for me, that's something that I would have thought, this is ridiculous. Why would you buy this? Like
Mhm.
they sell them for $10.
Right.
But I've had them for 4 years, and they
Yeah.
incredibly increase my quality of life. Like I wear them every day
Yeah.
in the winter, and it's LLB, and they have like a if it gets damaged, you can return them
Yeah.
and get new ones as
That's
long
great.
as it's for whatever, just like worn away.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think about that all the time.
Wear
Like
and
the
tear.
cost per use on that, I've worn them 400
It's right.
times.
It's like a
Okay.
4 cent.
So it's
cost
like
per use.
when you think about the value of like a $1 cheeseburger versus the value of
Right.
an $80
Yeah.
slipper. I think the
All right,
$80 slipper.
I have an example actually
Right.
from like similar to that, but that reminded me of when I had an LL Bean backpack, and I loved the LL Bean backpacks because it was the same thing where like you could just send them in and get a new one if
Right.
it was wear and tear.
Mhm.
But actually for college, I decided to get a different kind of backpack because I wanted to get like a more expensive one, and
Because I had all this money.
yeah.
and like it's been like totally fine. Like I've used it almost every day. I mean,
Nice.
besides the summer, for like over 5 years now, and it's just like totally like good. Like it's never broken. The zippers are all
That's
fine.
best.
Like it holds it has a laptop case.
That's
and
right.
I've just totally like haven't even thought about it. It's just been
That's
so
where,
taken for granted.
and that's where
know?
you need to put your money. And stuff like
Yeah.
my car. Like at the time, I ended up spending more than I wanted for that car. Like the salesman really got me. But hey, still never had a single problem with it.
Chris
Well,
has a lemon, by the way.
I have a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I have this pair of LL Bean boots, actually.
This is all sponsored content for LLB.
I do like my LL Bean boots.
Yeah, my backpack wasn't LB.
I had this pair of. I bought these headphones. See, this is an example of what I should not have done. I bought these Bluetooth headphones off Amazon for like $20, and for like the first week, I was like, "This is awesome! Like, I love these headphones, and they're only $20." And then just out of the blue, like 2 weeks after I bought them, stopped working.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of water. Wasn't because of I don't know what it was. It stopped working. I should have spent the extra, I don't know, $50 or whatever to get a decent pair of headphones that lasted, and I didn't.
That's the risk.
Because then, and it's all about, it's the cost per use. Because like we did an episode a couple weeks ago or last week, whenever it came out on Black Friday, and we bought these PlayStation games,
Right.
and I thought this is a great value, but I think we'll see how much I use them.
Yeah.
Right. That's like the thing.
Because I don't play video games all that much. So
Right,
even though it was a
right.
great value, if I only use them 3 times, even if it was $10,
Right.
why'd I buy it?
That's like you see these great deals. You see people buying something that's a great deal. It's totally personal. The
Yeah.
deal is personal. Like it could be a great deal if you're gonna use this thing, 100 times.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna buy it and look at it, it's obviously not a great deal. You could have just saved yourself $200.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I also think is interesting? I took an accounting class in college, and they talked about appreciating or depreciating.
That's
value.
not with Professor Andre Tippin, is it?
Surprisingly not. So like appreciating value is something that's
Right.
value goes up, depreciating as it
Yeah.
goes down. And they talked about how, and
It's
it's
like buying art.
yeah,
right?
that's exactly. So like buying art or wine can appreciate because the value goes up as it gets older. But when you talked about if a farm is doing finances, the horse's value depreciates because
it's getting
horses
older?
get less valuable as they get
Mhm.
younger. So it's like
Wow.
when they're like submitting their finances, doing taxes, they're like net whatever worth includes the horses, and their value goes down year after year.
Wow.
And like tractors' value goes down year after year. But then if they have some art, who knows, maybe it goes up.
But
it's all
their
it's all
their
crazy.
winery in the back.
Or like
shoot it
just
up.
their like savings will appreciate because it's some
Yeah.
interest. But it's
Yeah, I mean that
it's
makes sense.
interesting.
Even as soon as you buy a car,
Yeah,
literally,
I drove
as
it off
soon
the
as
lot. It
you,
probably
like-
was worth a couple
right,
thousand less.
it is worth much less because it's used now.
Crazy.
All right. Should we get to ratings?
Yeah. All right. So ratings.
This is
So
a
each
weird one
week
to rate.
At I Need a
Yeah,
Hobby,
this is a weird one to rate.
we rate a hobby on a scale from 1 to 10, and then we give it a yay or a nay. Will we continue the hobby? I think this one's a little tough, but I'm gonna say, will you continue?
I almost say
Will
we
you make
shouldn't do a yay or
personal
nay on this one.
Maybe we shouldn't, but I'll say, will you make personal finance a priority? Do you think it's worth it?
know what?
at the end of the day?
That's yays all around though, right?
But I
It
don't know. I
should
mean,
be.
like, will you keep tracking it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Let's
Do
see
you
what
like
one
it?
says.
Do you like personal finance?
Yeah,
How
I'm
about
into
that?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
I do.
All right. Should I go? I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So personal finance, I guess for me, I've been like, I guess, yeah, my money has worked for me, but I've definitely been, it's not very like orthodox in that I don't really like know what I'm doing kind of as much as these guys. I'm kind of
Right.
just like, all right, cool. Like I have some money now.
I'd also say you're at a unique point because, like you said, you're not making a ton of money because you're in school,
Yeah.
but next year or a couple of years, you'll be making more
Yeah.
than they probably.
But I am at a unique point because I'm like at school, but I am making like money, like
Yeah.
real money, because not just like a part-time job money, even
Mhm.
though it is a part-time job, it's like a stipend, you know,
Yeah.
so it has to be a
Right.
lot of money.
Hell,
But what I'm
That's
saying is
what I'm
like you'll
talking
have a
about.
real full-time job.
Right,
for
it's
making
not
significant.
that
It's gonna be a
much
big.
money.
It'll
Right,
be
of
a big
course.
jump.
But it's just like an in-between phase, I guess. So I don't know. I guess I do want to like continue making this a priority, and I guess I want to be like a little more conscious of it, I guess, because I feel like I just kind of spend money on credit cards, like not on stuff that I don't need, but at the same time it's like I'll just spend and then it'll be time to pay, and I'll just pay like a bunch and hope that like is enough, you know.
Right.
It's instead of just like, all right, maybe I don't need this, like seeing how much I can actually like whittle down would be good, but instead currently I'm just not like thinking about that.
Right.
So personal finance, I'll give it a 6.5. I guess there's nothing like I'm super thrilled about. I enjoyed talking with you guys about it, but overall I think I'll be okay if I don't start tracking my purchases. I do want to get a Roth IRA though. So
Yeah.
6.5, yay.
Heck yeah.
All right, Alex.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. I also want to get a Roth IRA. Silly me, I already have.
Got
No,
2.
I think I've been interested. I think you're right. Like when you get a job, like a real job after college, or whenever you get your real job,
Yeah.
it opens a door for like learning about personal
Because
finance.
I'm like, this
and
is
either
weird,
you're
but
going to be interested in it or you're just going to treat it like a chore.
I'm like
Yeah.
weirdly excited to start paying back my student loans, like because
It
like
feels good.
chipping away at
satisfying.
that, like
Yeah.
I know it's
I-
just a
it's
number
all
right
about.
now,
I think
but
it's like
it'll
it's
get
kind of like how we
exciting.
talked about. It's like sports or like a video game.
Yeah.
That's why I like the number. It's like
See, I'm not with you guys. I just do it because I have to, but it's just money. I just do it because I know it's money that I don't have, and I can have more of this.
yeah.
But yeah, so I've read a few books on it, so I feel like it's enough of a interest of mine that I have to give it a yay.
That is pretty serious.
And there's other books that I want to read on it. So, and I've listened to some podcasts, and I'm a banker. So,
surprisingly.
and I invented the game Monopoly, so I guess I have to. No, yeah, I don't know. I think it is interesting, like knowing that there are decisions that I can make, basically now,
Yeah.
that are gonna make my life significantly better in 40 years. Feels cool to me, you know?
I like that. Yeah.
Why can't I tell
just don't
girls
know.
money is my hobby? You know? So I like it. I would never talk to anyone about it other than you guys. I feel like 8.5 yay.
Wow.
Pretty solid. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a hobby. It's definitely a hobby of mine. It's something like I've read, like you said, a couple of books on it.
And the thing is, we probably sound like jerks right now, but it's not like we're rich.
Yeah,
You don't
Yeah,
have to have
yeah.
money to have this be your hobby.
exactly.
That's the beauty
I
of
don't
it.
have a lot
The
of money.
less money you have, it's like
The more
you
valuable
should be-
this advice
yeah,
is.
it's
Yeah,
You
I
should be
agree.
listening and doing something with it.
Right.
And one great tip that I heard a while ago is that like the difference between starting to invest when you're like 20 or
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's the best.
and 30, like that money, there was a
It's
number
like-
at the time.
it's like
but
I
it's
start now.
incredible.
You start when you're 30. I end when. Okay, sorry. I start now, end when I'm 30. You start when you're 30, end when you're like 60.
And it's the
So I do it
same
for 10 years. You do it for
Wait, why
30
is that?
years.
Why does
because
that
it's
matter?
compound interest.
but my 10 years keeps going on. His 30 years, I end up with more money.
Chris, do that hand motion again so the listeners.
I was actually
understand.
whipping.
Yeah, he's doing the
and then
He looks
watching
like
me
a
name.
third base coach actually.
But I mean, I think I read this great book called The Wealthy Barber, which was all about. It was literally just about a barber who
Let me
made his
guess.
money work for him.
Wealthy.
Yeah.
Wealthy, and he's he was happy because he did the right things with his money, and it kind of had been.
Was it like
fondness tips.
was it like an autobiography?
Wait, what is that? What other? All right, so get your rating, and then we'll talk about other books.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I did want to talk about that. I've read that. I've listened to the podcast. I enjoy it. And one thing that I've taken into practice is oftentimes on a Sunday, I'll sit down, just a day that I have nothing to do, and just look at it all.
I could see Chris. You know, like when people bounce their checkbook, they put on those real thin
That's literally
glasses.
it's me.
I could see Chris putting on his green visor
Yeah.
and his thin glasses.
And I think it comes
from
from.
look at the fingers before they turn.
I think it comes from like my family. My dad has always been the kind of guy who will sit with
Yeah.
a pile of bills and talk about doing his bills.
And
I mean,
just
at
say,
this point,
"Ugh, Chris, why did I have you? Ugh."
at this point, all my bills are like electronic, so I don't have
Yeah.
the stacked papers. But I look at it, I think about it, I make sure I'm doing the right things, and it's fun,
Oh.
which sounds weird.
It is weird because it's not. I would never say it's fun, but you're right. It's fun.
Yeah.
No,
Thanks.
I don't know. It's something interesting about it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what to say. It's not fun. It's not
Well,
like
that's
I'm overjoyed.
okay. That's why like this is
And
a
I think
hobby.
yeah.
The way you guys are talking about it now, like this is very
And
clearly
I think
a hobby.
the reason that it's fun to me is if I do it right, if I do it successfully, then I can live a better life and
Right.
really go into my hobbies later.
The thing is,
Yeah.
like, if we do it right, you make a certain amount of money and you are financially savvy. Someone makes double the money that you make,
Mhm.
not financially savvy. You could essentially be living very similar quality of
Yeah.
lives until the end of your life.
Mhm.
Whereas, when you don't make that much money, you see it as, I have to make a big sacrifice.
Mm.
Hmm.
9 out of 10, yay.
9.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And
That's good
I think the biggest reason I gave it a 9 is I thought back to when we were in line at Disney World.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's when we said we were going to do
we
this.
had this
this
long
episode.
line, and me and Alex were just talking about whatever.
I think it was Monsters Inc. Laugh Factory.
It was.
Actually.
Underrated.
Very underrated. But we were just talking about this stuff, and I was like, I could talk about this all day to anyone.
all right. Oh shoot! Sorry, I almost kicked the computer.
I
Let's do a quick segment. Alex and Chris's book corner.
So I read that book, and
The
then
Wealthy Barber. I haven't
another
read
book that I'll recommend that isn't quite personal finance, but I think it's called What Color Is Your Parachute?
Ooh.
And it basically, you answer a bunch of questions, and then it leads you into like what kind of job you would want based on your lifestyle.
It's like a choose your own
that's cool.
adventure.
Yeah, so it's like I found it out, and it was like some people in this book will find, like the 9 to 5 isn't for me. Like I value other things more importantly.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me. Like
I like that.
find the
What's
job.
that one called? Choose your.
What color is your parachute?
Ooh, nice. Choose your own adventure. That one said.
Yeah. R.L. Stein.
Goosebumps.
I've read. I think Rich Dad Poor Dad
Yeah,
is really
I have
good
heard of that one
I
too.
read, and it's very easy. Or The Richest Man in Babylon was written like thousands of years ago or
I remember
something.
you told me about that too.
And it's just essentially the principles, which is really good. And I read this one. What's that guy? What's the very famous public speaker?
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, Tony Robbins has a money managing book.
Mm.
Or like
Oh,
you
that
said, there's a non-money book that I've never read, but my dad owns. That's called Who Ate My Cheese?
I've seen that.
And it's
yeah.
about like, I think it's about like
One of my friends read that recently.
dealing with your workspace, and I don't really
People
know what it's
stealing
about,
your
but I've
cheddar.
heard it's really good, and that's what I want to read next.
Mm. Another book, just as we're talking about money, How to Win Friends and Influence
yeah, yeah,
People.
Yeah.
I
classic.
think that's a must read if you haven't read it.
Yeah, I
just
don't know if I've ever
especially
finished it.
going into the workplace, starting to think about money. Like, I don't know, it just kind of like
Yeah.
gives a lot of like these.
Also,
practices
I
for-
read that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets yesterday, and
Yeah.
man, that's a must read.
I read Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss. A lot of great values about
Nice.
is it your hat that you're owning?
I like this section though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alex
that's a
and
good
Chris's
idea.
book corner.
Well, hold on.
Give me a book, Andrew. What you got?
For I don't know any finance.
All right, let's get
books.
into the next section. Let's get into the next section.
All right. So we're done talking about finance.
I want to do a book section for another hobby. How about that?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's bring back this. Hey, if you like this section, I don't know. Send us a letter.
Send us a book.
So now we're going to get into the next section of the show. This section's called What's on Your Mind? Here we like to talk about what's on our mind. And luckily each week we get a theme song sent in by a fan of the show. This week we got an email from and a link from fan of the show, Mr. Moneybags.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Moneybags.
Mr. Moneybags. Pretty good song. So here we talked about what's on our mind.
I can't wait. Hold on. I can't believe we spent a whole episode talking about money and we didn't bring up Mr. Burns once.
That's
the
true.
richest man on television.
I don't know enough about The Simpsons. Dang.
Yeah,
I
I don't
love The
really either.
Simpsons.
I didn't grow up on The Simpsons.
It's really funny. It is really
yeah,
funny.
every time I watch it,
Very
I'm
funny.
excited.
Classic debate: Simpsons or Family Guy? Gotta be Simpsons, right?
Simpsons. I don't. You know what?
Uh,
I don't know. I could see.
Family
see
Guy's
the debate.
pretty good.
Family
I could
Guy's
see the
funny.
debate.
It reminds me of like The Office and Seinfeld. Or
I would do an
something.
episode Simpsons versus Family Guy of I Need a Hobby.
I would do
For
it.
real.
I think that'd be a fun episode, or
Oh,
maybe
like-
just a fun separate podcast where you talk about
Like you battle.
battle.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's
wanna
a
start a
great
new
idea.
podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
we could do like
we should
it'd be like
start a subgenre of I Need a Hobby.
yeah,
doing that.
like I don't know. This is just the first one that popped in my head, but like cookies versus brownies or something like that.
Do
You
a whole
know?
episode
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Hey, Andrew, you want to talk after the podcast? Once Alex leaves.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. So, Andrew, you have anything on your mind?
Oh yeah, I do have something on my mind, and it is about personal security, aka passwords. So, without revealing too much info,
My password is.
yeah, here's my password.
Here's my PIN number for my bank account.
ASDF1234.
PA55 word.
I basically have about maybe 6 passwords that I just kind of rotate
Yeah,
through.
This is good. This is
And
good.
I'm curious if that's like, cause I don't know, like I was talking to my boss about this, the person I'm a TA for,
Mhm.
and she was like, so mad at me. Like, this is so irresponsible, especially as a computer science student,
Really?
not like actually mad, like joking mad, but like very like disappointed that I don't like, she says that she like,
6 is wild, I would say.
she says that she like generates like random passwords and has this thing called KeyPass, which I don't know if you guys have heard about, but it's like, I don't know exactly how it works, but you basically just have all your passwords stored on a
Macs
probably
have that.
password protected thing. Yeah.
You could do that with your computer.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Like,
okay.
I don't want to do that. I have 6 passwords. I always get it right because if I can't get it after 5, it'll be the 6th.
Yeah,
And I just like it. I don't know.
Tough.
Like, it's probably
Yeah.
not the safest thing, but my passwords are not. They're like a little complicated, I guess.
See, this is something we're gonna look back on in 15 years and be like, I can't believe we had to remember our passwords. It's gonna be like
yeah.
I can't believe our password wasn't just like our eyeballs.
Here's a hot take. What are people gonna take from me?
Oh,
My-
that's a hot take, dude.
My money?
Yeah, your money. Your money.
I could get it back.
No,
Your
no.
dignity.
You know what? I don't
You
think
think if
anyone.
someone hacked my account, I'm just.
I don't think
I'll
anyone.
give me that
Who,
money back.
they wouldn't take Chris's
People want to
money.
steal my identity. Who wants to be me?
Maybe if maybe
I
I live
I
a
think that's a hot
sad
take.
life. I have a
I don't-
podcast.
I don't think you want to.
Oh my god, I would love if someone stole my identity.
Because I've had. I will say I have
if
had.
it
my,
was someone who was just like 5% more successful than me, I would just ride that.
I have had my card information taken
Oh,
twice.
really?
Where I've looked at my account and had like $5,000 spent at
Really?
Best Buy. Yeah. And I always
I've
get,
had $5,000 put into someone else's Roth IRA.
but for me, obviously,
I love how last episode Andrew took over Chris's
Yeah.
What's on Your Mind.
Got
And
a
this
little
episode, Chris
payback.
took over
See ya.
Andrew's.
Yeah, I like it.
But I don't know, like, and that's not. I don't think it's because my passwords are like too simple.
I don't think that has to do with your
No,
password.
that's not it.
but it's like,
but
if
still,
that's the worst
okay.
that happens.
Well,
I have 2 passwords.
do you actually?
So I have 2 branches. I have like a 1 password
What is it?
and a second password, and both of those, if it's like, oh, you have to refresh your password, I'll add on to those.
Yeah.
So
so
I have like 2
those
branches.
passwords are unrelated.
I might do
basically, though.
I might throw 3 on there, but yeah, 3 unrelated.
So
passwords.
you're basically saying like I got 2 passwords and then one of them will have like exclamation point or a number somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, so I'd say I have like 6 very different ones.
Well, how many things?
That's
do you,
irresponsible.
how many things do you think you have passwords for?
Too
A lot.
many.
Oh,
Holy
way
cow,
too many. Yeah.
I still know my Neopets password.
Do you actually?
I have no clue.
'Cause
But the thing is, like, I could probably guess and end up getting it right.
But when it
Like,
comes
to it-
my passwords back in the day are still similar passwords
But
I'm using now.
I think I don't log into stuff much at this point because it's like my email, whatever Facebook that I use is just on my phone or on my
Mhm.
computer logged in.
But they
I
are
log
logged
into
in.
my like work stuff every day.
Mhm,
That's not too difficult.
Do you guys remember your middle school? Were you guys given middle school passwords, or did you have to come up with them?
Ooh,
Sneer. That's mine. SNEER.
you were given it.
Sneer. I hope so.
Oh, you remember our friend from high school? I hope he doesn't mind us shouting this out.
that's hilarious.
He.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, it's so good.
This is one of my favorite stories I've ever heard. But the last day of senior year of high school, we all got to breakfast.
We had passwords all 4
They
years.
gave us like a password for our computers to log on.
Right, that's what I was saying. So
And
that's
we're
what
all-
Sneer was for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we were all. But I think ours we had to choose.
Yeah, okay.
We got to choose.
And
Yeah.
I remember mine was whatever. I don't remember.
Interesting
I guess.
He doesn't
password.
want to say what it is because it's still his password.
It's still password. But our friend goes up to him and goes, my password, it's the 4 letters of the word potato. And I was like, what? He goes, pote.
Like we were like trying to like decrypt it or something. You're like, is it really like pote? It's like, yeah. That is just insane. What was
See,
he thinking?
But that's fine. If someone
It
told me
is,
that
yeah.
was their
I
password
would never
today,
just pote.
I would be like, oh, that's a password.
Yeah.
Like both of my passwords are pretty weird.
Well, here's another
yeah.
They're not potent.
an opinion I have on passwords is that I like to use ones that I wouldn't be afraid to have to tell people.
Well, I don't like telling people my password.
No, I don't either.
No
I've
matter
only
what
had
it
to.
is,
I can
like-
think of only one situation recently where I really needed to tell someone my password. And
I
was
had to
fine-
tell
was
you
fine
guys my
doing that.
Minecraft password, and I was embarrassed when I had to say it.
No, one thing that I think is okay though is I think that one thing I deviate is my password for my computer is something that I'm okay with everyone knowing because I feel like that's frequently like someone needs to use my computer or
that's
something,
true.
and I don't care because like the predator who takes my computer, they're still not going to know it, but my friends can know it.
Yeah,
You know?
right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one I keep it different.
Can I do my? I know usually it goes Andrew, Alex, Tris, but can I do my? What's on my mind next?
Oh my god!
Because I want to keep
This is
this.
unconventional.
I want to keep this password talk going.
All right, go for
Oh,
it.
My
now I gotta
dad-
come up with a password.
My dad will text. So I share a
This is your what's on your mind?
This is my what's
All
on
right,
my
Chris,
mind.
what's on
I
your
had a
mind?
different one. I'm using this one.
Good.
My dad, we all share a Netflix account. We also, at my parents' house, they have a lock that they keep a key in.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Where exactly is it?
I'll save it. But my dad will text our family once a month telling us the updated Netflix password and also the updated key lock
See,
password.
that's so irresponsible.
I-
That's so irresponsible of your
'Cause
dad.
in his mind, like literally, he has
I'm gonna
said
find
before,
your phone and break into your house and then watch The Big Bang Theory.
because he says he's like, I want to keep the robbers on their feet. Like I want to keep it, mix it up.
I like it, but I wish he did it in form of a riddle. Like, here's where the key is now, family. What is wet but never dry?
It's under a towel.
It's in the house, in the towel closet.
But it's like, do you think your teacher who you talk to would say it's very important to change your password a lot, or just that it's
No, she just said like you need to have a strong password because
Because people who are breaking in are not breaking in with their mind. It's computers that are trying to
Yeah.
encrypt or whatever.
exactly
Or de-encrypt.
exactly yes I don't know.
yeah. I
So
don't
like a strong password to a human, for example, sneer, would be,
great password.
would be a weak password to a computer because they could break sneer is one of the first few words that they.
Do you
think
guys
of for a
know how passwords work? Do you know about hashing? Can I explain it quickly? It's kind of cool.
Wait,
It's
hold
kind of
on.
cool. It's kind
I'll
of
give you
cool.
30
I
seconds.
I'm still not sure what's on your mind.
It's
Ron.
Chris's now.
All I know is it's
It's,
not.
we're
mine.
doing. We're going. We're collabing.
All right.
All right, I guess you're right. That's part of my. All right, well, the hash. All it is
Explain
that.
it real quick because now people
All
don't
right,
know.
all it is, it's just like a one-way thing. So your password will hash. There's like a function that's one way. It goes to a specific value, and that's what the person who has the password sees. So they can never go back the other way. So you type in sneer in your computer. If it's hashed properly, they'll see username Alex, I need a hobby, password, and it'll be this long string of things, which is sneer hashed with some function that no one knows what it is, and you can't reverse the function. You can't go from that long string of
But do
characters
I have-
to sneer. But you'll never know. It's all in the
Oh, so
computer.
it's not like okay.
It's just so that the
I
admins
misheard.
can never see your real password.
So could a website have porn? A website can have porn encryption? Sorry. What was that? Oh, my bad. Can a website have porn encryption?
No, that's the thing. Actually, that's the if you see in your browser, if you see HTTPS and you see that little
That's a good
lock
fun fact
on
here.
Google Chrome, that means it's hashed. Your password is secure. If you don't see that lock, it's not. Sometimes you'll get that. It says
Chris, are you listening?
it'll say warning. It'll say warning. Do not proceed. Your password is not secure, and it says back to safety. You guys ever seen that on
Yeah,
Google Chrome?
Neopets would
It's
have
a
it
real
right
thing.
Oh.
But that's what hashing is. It's a
Yeah.
one-way
All right,
function.
I gotta
that
get off
goes
this.
to a different
I gotta
thing.
get off the password.
Yeah, all right,
I
Chris,
know
go
more
ahead, go
Password
ahead.
talk, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of thought it was funny that my dad changes. The password.
As I said, I like it, but I wish it was in form of a riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's another thing is that I'm not going to say what the password is, but they are very easily mistaken passwords.
Nice.
Password.
Definitely password.
All right. Let me get to what's on my mind.
Yeah,
Non-password talk.
Okay.
All you computer techie nerds could shut your iPods off now.
That was weird.
Why'd you sound southern?
What? All right. This happened to me. We're running out of time on this podcast. I need some advice.
Okay.
Okay.
I was at work. Where I work. I was covering in a different place, so I didn't know anyone who was there,
Mm-hmm.
and I covered just one day.
Mhm.
So I thought, and I was working there, and my name's Alex, right?
Of course.
And someone said, "All right, see ya, Andy." Oh, no, sorry, that was a different time. Someone says, "All right, see ya, Ryan."
Yeah.
Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm only here one day. I'm not going to correct them. Who cares?
Yeah.
So they leave. Then I got a text. Hey, can you cover again this day? So I'm like, oh, boy. So I go back. Hey, no, talk to the person. They leave. All right, Ryan, have a good one. To me. My name's Alex.
Yeah.
So now I'm like,
who says this to you?
I'm at that same place where I thought I was only going to be
It's the next
once.
day. It's the next day.
It's like the next week.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right, see you later, Ryan. They say to me. Once again, my name's Alex.
Yeah.
Still.
Far from Ryan. So now I'm like,
You're
this
in
is- you know
you're in
what?
trouble.
Now I'm
now.
like, all right, this is the last time I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm not gonna correct them. Then I get another text. Hey, can you cover again? They call me Ryan again. I don't know what to do. I can't correct them at this point because they've called me Ryan multiple times, crossing almost a month.
you can't correct it.
What do I do? But now, and then other people who know my name is Alex, they see me not correcting them. So now I look like a bad
that's
person.
That's bad.
That's
Right?
really bad.
I was gonna say that.
They're
I
probably
think,
thinking like, this guy is a real jerk.
I
for
think
not
you should
correcting.
pretend that Ryan is your middle name and you just like to go by that.
No,
but
'cause
if
then
but
other
if,
people are gonna
well,
call
right,
me
I
Ryan.
didn't know that was my advice before I found out that there are people that know you prefer to be called Alex.
Yeah,
What if
people know my
you-
real name.
What if you legally change your name to Ryan?
I'm thinking I might have to.
and then you tell the previous people who thought you were Alex, oh, hey, sorry, I changed my name.
Sorry.
Oh,
My
that's a
name
good
is
idea.
changed
My
to
name
Ryan.
was Ryan.
So then the other guy feels like a jerk for even
I'm
questioning.
not gonna
his-
lie. I think that's the least awkward thing I could do. Like, that's not even a joke. I might do that.
It would be very funny for you to change your name to a name that's just like equally more boring white name. You know, like,
Sorry, it's Jeff now, if you don't mind.
it's not like you're changing it because of like a religious reason or.
But then at the same time, if someone then called me Alex, and now my name is legally Ryan, or if I accidentally called myself Alex, now my name's legally Ryan. What do I do? Correct them? Have them
All right,
correct me?
let's get off the legal name change. That would make
All right,
it
you're
so
right.
much worse.
What's my best plan of action? Because I don't think I'm going to be back in this place, but I could get a
you
text
could
tomorrow
get a text tomorrow.
saying, "Could you come in Monday?"
Sounds like that's the case.
I mean, okay. So if you're not,
They
so
sent
right
me
now you're not going
they
to go
sent
back.
an email to my email address, which is alex@unneedhobbypod.com, saying, "Hey Ryan, weird email address."
I don't know. I think here's what I think. I don't think this guy is actively thinking about your name that often. So if he says,
You're
it's
right,
not like
that's for sure.
Like if you correct him, he'll probably like, oh my bad. He won't. I don't think he'll think. I think
Now-
I'll call him Ryan.
No,
Here's the
I-
thing, here's the
but if
thing.
I was him,
Depends
I
on the
would
person.
think that.
If-
I
I
would
think
be
I would
like,
too.
I've been calling him Ryan this whole
Yeah,
time.
you're right.
Yeah.
Because I've had people. So there's someone else who works there whose name is Andy. That's why I brought that up
Yeah.
earlier. So I get Andy all the time. Because Alex and Andy are close.
Yeah.
Same first mouth sound.
two syllable
First-
a name.
Same first mouth position. Which, you get that first mouth position,
Wide open.
right? Who knows what the rest of the name
Wide
is?
open.
People call me Alyssa sometimes. I go with it. So people call me Andy. I'll go with it because usually it's a 5 minute and they say, "Oh, sorry, I think I accidentally called you Andy." I'm like, "Beep, you did, all right." It's Ryan. But I can't do that now with Ryan because it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah. You should probably just quit.
I think.
I'm thinking about creating an alter ego. Yeah. Hey, I'm Ryan.
Wait, what's your new Ryan voice? Did you do it?
Howdy, I'm Ryan.
I don't know what I would do.
I don't know what to do.
I think you can't do anything right now. If you get called again, then I think you should. I just probably wouldn't do anything. I don't know.
Because you know what? I'm kind of a bad person either way. Because if I correct, they would be like, "Why didn't you correct me for the past 3 weeks?"
Yeah.
If I don't correct,
That's even crazier.
then I'm Ryan. You know?
I think not correcting is fine though. Like, do you even know these people?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
it's
Well,
just-
I don't. Yeah, I
But
don't
who knows?
really.
I mean, it seems like you might start working there.
It does, right?
They love you. They love Ryan.
Oh boy.
Oh God, that'd be so weird.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I don't know.
listeners
Email
at
in.
home, please email. I need some help here.
All right. And if you want to email us and you don't know the email address,
Quick transition into the plugs.
I'll hit him with
I
the
like
plugs,
it.
I guess. You can find all of the info on ineedahobbypod.com. Our email is ineedahobbypod@gmail.com. You can also find our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ineedahobbypod. Buy a dang t-shirt.
Yeah, come on. With all that money you've saved,
Yeah. If you're making your money work for you, think about the value of a
a
t-shirt.
t-shirt's a good investment.
You can buy a cheap t-shirt
I
from
mean,
anywhere
cost per wear. You're wearing this thing
every day for the rest of your life.
probably 14 times a week. You know,
It's incredible.
twice a day, 7 days.
Sometimes I'll take off my shirt and put it back on just to increase my cost per use.
Cha-ching!
I'm
It's
rich.
like a glove.
And for all your other shopping needs besides the shirt, you can buy them on ineedahobbypod.com/Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And Snapchat? Did you say Snapchat?
Yeah, I think I threw it in
Follow
there.
us on
Hobbypod, Snap us. Snap us pictures of your money. Or actually,
Of your snap us your debit card,
Snapcash.
front and back,
yeah,
please.
Social Security,
Send us some Snapcash.
all your passwords.
Yeah, let's drop our Venmo names.
All right.
All
And
right.
to finish this off, I would just like to say our email is ineedahobbypod@gmail.com and our password is see you next week.